Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. So, we've been given the Mark II, well, at least 12 loopers have, and I'm one of the loopers who's been lucky enough to be receiving one of these. We're going to be battling with this device, and seeing as there aren't actually that many reaction videos or analysis videos out right now, I figured being one of the loopers who has this, it might actually be a good idea to kind of give you guys an analysis of these videos to try and kind of depict what's going on and maybe discuss some of the new aspects of the MK2. However, I cannot legally show you this device on camera. We have to deal with BOSS, which means we're not allowed to do that. So what I instead can do is I can talk about it through the videos that we're going to be watching today. Probably going to be doing this for all of the seeding rounds, maybe the battle rounds. I don't know yet. We'll see how the videos do. But anyway, I feel like I've discussed enough. The videos we're going to be watching today are Mirsa and Frosty, and both of these are crazy high level loopers normally. I'm not going to make the argument that I haven't already seen these videos. Being a competitor, I feel like I have to watch these videos to kind of scout out my competition. But I will watch these anyway and analyze them. So, first up we got Flowmaster. Generally just great guy and super sick looper. Got Mirsa.
Welcome to Mirsa's
This jingle as well is
Kickback Battle
nuts.
2021 Loopstation Edition with the exclusive prototype of the Boss RC-505
My hi-hat and snare, I think.
With 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Let's go, Mirsa.
I say the 3 and I say the 2 and the 1. In 3, 2, 1. Beatbox.
Let's go. So immediately we got a new effect. We got Oscillator Bot. This is a really cool new effect, and basically it's like a vocoder in the sense that it uses a carrier, but you don't actually need to input a sound to put it in. So like let's say he's using like a carrier, but it's already built into the device. So super fast recording, and you don't need to make any input sound beforehand. Another new effect, we've got the reverse reverb on the snare. And also, side note, this snare is so nice. Okay. Gives me like some underground house vibes. And completing the trifecta of new effects, we have Electric, which is the new auto-tune. And I think he's using this in combination with some sort of distortion and a panning delay, because you hear going from side to side. And basically it just means he's going to be on pitch no matter what he does, which is quality. I love how into it he is. Let's see where this goes. Okay. That hi-hat is so nice. Perfectly placed. From a mixed standpoint, this is some of the best I've heard from Mirsa. It's very progressive house. Like, he's building it slow. I like that he's using like a step sequencer on the input effects. So yeah, so he's clearly using some sort of, I think again it's the oscillator bot, which is like a kind of a vocoder, but I think that he's using it in combination with like a filter or like a delay. So he's basically inputting like a beatbox sound, like, or, and he's just like able to sequence it by choosing the notes in the sequencer, which is another cool thing, by the way. There's step sequencer in this new loop. The one thing I'll have to say is a thing I would have done differently in this drop is like you have like the chord in the back. I feel like it would hit harder without the chord actually. Sounds like also kind of like video game-esque. Alright. I think this is, again, it's the vocoder on the track effects this time. Okay.
And that's time.
Hey, that is a really, really sick round from Mirsa. So obviously the first thing we can kind of tell is that he's trying to showcase a lot of new aspects of the looper, in the sense that he's using the oscillator bond, which is a new effect. He's using the autotune, new effect. And you can also hear that the general audio quality has gone up a lot, which is really nice to see. The one thing I would have to criticize him on, and this is maybe more of like a personal thing, is that I felt like there wasn't really like a big wow moment throughout the entire track. Like it was always constantly like progressing. I could always vibe, but I was never like thoroughly like blown away. But still really sick round, and I could see it finishing pretty high. I could also kind of depends on how everyone else does, I guess. But overall, this is a really impressive round, and it shows kind of a different side of Mirsa. One thing I know for sure is that he's probably gonna be bringing a lot more of his hip-hop abilities on his more of his battle rounds. Anyway, next up we have Frosty, who's obviously using a second device as well as a MIDI controller on top of his MK2, which means that you're going to be seeing a completely different side of the MK2 compared to Mirsa, for example. Let's go.
Welcome to Frosty's seating round of the SPX Kickback.
I don't think I'll get tired of this jingle.
Edition with the exclusive prototype of the Boss RC-505 Mark II. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, I say the 3 and I say the 2 and the 1. In 3, 2, 1, beatbox.
Let's go. It's got stage performance already. I already knew this track from before. He's done this track in Mad Mule, but now we get to hear it in better audio quality with the Mark II. Side note that I really like with this track, and I didn't even notice it before, is like on both we got like the horn, the brass, as well as the voice. On both there's like a wind effect. I don't know if it's intentional, but it sounds like really atmospherical if you listen. Like you hear like there's also wind on top of that in his presets. If it's intentional, then fair play. Bro, that snare is... The lows on the Mark II sound way above and beyond what we're used to on the Mark I. Listen especially to the kick. It's so much better than what it could have been on the Mark II. And another thing I love is on both of the seating rounds we've just seen, the snares absolutely killer, as well as the hi-hat. The lows are just so much better. And the mixing on this track in general is... His singing on this one is a lot better than it usually is. With all due respect to Frosty, it's gotten a lot better. Big tip for mixing, which he's doing really well. He has two low synths. He's got the sub bass, if you want to call it a synth, as well as the brass. I've heard a lot of Loopstation tracks where you have different low elements. And what's really good that he's done here is that they don't interfere. And a super easy way to do that is that if you have a sub bass as well as a bass, low cut the sub bass to make sure it doesn't interfere with the bass, and high cut the subs out of the main bass, which is the horn in this case, to make sure that they don't have frequencies where they disturb each other. And so, for example, in this case, you have perfect mix in between the two elements there. Actually, the only thing I could criticize about his mix, and this is a very minor detail, is that on a few of the kicks, the sub bass kind of takes over. Not much, but it does a little bit. But that's the only thing I can criticize about the mix aspect. I love the melody, by the way. Ooh, there's reverse reverb, I think. Listen, I think there's reverse reverb. I think there is. Like a little bit of delay, maybe.
Time.
Fair play. Fair play. That's just sick. So sick. I mean, where to begin? The mix is probably some of the best I've ever heard on loop. Snare, hi-hats blend perfectly. Basses blend perfectly. His voice stands out without being too much. Again, the only thing I could criticize would be the sub bass and the kick, which is something that's really difficult to get right without the side chaining possibility. If, of course, you could sidechain on the loop, wouldn't be an issue. He creates a perfect atmosphere as well, you know, especially with like the wind effects. It just really gives you like a picture, paints you a picture of being on a mountain. So he's done that excellently. The only thing I could possibly criticize again here is the fact that the build-up was quite long. I mean, I know it's probably more of an artistic choice than anything, but it's still... I think it was 1 minute 45 seconds of build-up into the drop, which then ends the track. I feel like there could have kind of been more elements, more dynamics, but overall that's a minor detail, because I know what he's trying to go for, and I think he executes it really well. So yeah, those are the two rounds that we were watching today. Overall, I think they both did an excellent job. I could see them both finishing pretty high in the list, but again, we don't know how the other people are going to do. I could imagine them all doing excellently. Just a side note, because I've seen a lot of the comments on Frosty's saying that he's not really using the MK2 to its full potential, and that he should be using the MK2 more. I would just advise you guys that he's an artist more than he's trying to advertise a product. He's trying to show his music and he's trying to show what he can do. He's not trying to show what the MK2 can do. While that might be the overall theme of the entire competition, is showing you guys a new loop station, what we as artists have to do is show our styles, what we can do, and how we're able to use the new MK2. In Frosty's case, he might not be using the looper as much as you could be doing, but just listen to the audio quality, because that's the main aspect that Frosty's got going for him now. Listen to his wildcard, listen to this one. The audio quality is miles ahead. And that's the main aspect that he's able to get from the MK2. But anyway, I would like to know from you guys, what do you think about these two seeding rounds? Again, I could see them both going either way. Again, today we're going to be having MH on, and tomorrow we're going to be having Josh O, I think. So those are the next two seeding rounds that we're going to be watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'm excited for the next videos. Peace out.